Hello everybody, my name is Overlord the Stat, and I'm starting up a YouTube channel to be able to share more along the lines of video games, anime, and all that awesome stuff. Today, I'm going to be going over Pokemon cards, and specifically, the Primal Clash release.
The Primal Clash release.
Let me try that again.
Primal Clash Release.
The Primal Clash release. So, me and my wife are going to go to the tournament, and later in this clip, of course, you'll see the after the tournament, and possibly during. But I'm going to be going over the tournament itself and the awesome cards that we're all going to be expecting to get.
So, I just got home from the tournament, and it was fantastic. It was a nice drive there and back, and once we made it there, we had a little bit of trouble finding the place, but when we found it, we were excited. We went in, and when we went to register, they went ahead and gave us these promo cards, and it is one of the new Kingdras, and it is beautiful. I love this guy. He looks really cool. I like the little Primal Class symbol right there. It has a pretty decent attack too. I mean, 150, can't complain. You discard 2 energy. A water and lightning, but what's cool is that he has his growth ability, so if I had those in my hand, I could just put them right back down on him and attack again. Or if I have no energy in my hand, I just use Gather Strength to get 4 basic energy from my deck, I believe it says. Yep, search my deck for up to 4 basic energies, reveal them, put them into your hand, and shuffle your deck afterwards. So he's actually really decent, and he just looks so cool. So I was excited to get this. But they did tell us that we cannot use this in the tournament, though. We get it, but we could only use the cards that we got from booster packs. So I want to show those right now, the ones I ended up getting. First off, these are the ones that I got that I ended up not making a deck out of for that tournament, because they only allowed us a 40-card deck. So, I mean, it was really different because I'm used to 60 cards, of course, and we could only do 4 prize cards. But it was still a fun, interesting experience. And so these are the cards I didn't end up using because they weren't really fitting well together, or I had the evolutions but not the basic Pokemon for it, etc. So these are the ones I ended up drawing. And I was thinking about putting these 2 in. I only have 1 Drillbur and 1 X-Drill, but I did like that he was fairly strong. So the thing is, I only pulled 1 EX card, and to my surprise, though, it was an awesome one. It was Primal Groudon EX. But the thing was, I had that, Groudon Spirit Link, but no Groudon EX. So I was in trouble there. Although I did get Maxie's, was it Maxie? It was another trainer card that allowed me to get like 1 fighting Pokemon from my discard to the bench. So I almost didn't need the Evolve form. But the problem is I need to get him in my discard. And I had no cards to do it, and no one else had any cards to put this guy in my discard. Except for Acrobike. I could have risked the chance of doing that, but I didn't even pull Acrobike for myself. So sad to say, I had to take him out, and the first lady I went up against, actually in the tournament, had a full art Groudon EX. So like, oh, that hurts. So sadly, I wasn't able to use him. So here are the other guys. Really liking this guy's Rock Shower. Really wanted to use him, but couldn't because I didn't have the right cards. But yeah, his Rock Shower is good. 2 fighting energy, 1 colorless. Flip 3 coins. This deck does 20 damage times the number of heads to each of your opponent's Pokemon. So all of them. That's really, really good. And I got a couple other Spirit Links for Aggro and Gardevoir, but still none of those EXs or Megas. This guy, he just looks cool. He has some really decent attack, especially Splash Dance. Next time I use it, does 120 to 60 plus. so that's pretty cool. And he has recovery, so when he heals double the amount. And I got Rhydon, but no Rhyhorn. I love these Nidoqueens. They're so nice. Double kick, Poison Fang. Poison Fang does 60 and it poisons my opponent, and they have to put 2 damage counters instead of 1 for each turn for poison, so that's good. And double kick, 40. Flip 2 coins, this deck does 40 damage times the number of heads, so I mean, I love this Nidoking, especially with Dimension Valley. That's going to be really mean. Tentacool, Neuron Female, Hypera, Night Cargo, and Torchic. Alright, so those were the guys I didn't end up putting into the deck. Now I'll show you guys the deck I ended up making at the tournament, but I'll also show what I learned from the deck as far as like who was useful, who wasn't, and the lifesavers. So again, that was my only EX, so I didn't get much of a good pool, but I made do with what I got. Fortunately there, they provided energies for us, and I only needed 15, so I only had this much left, and I put them in my Veltal sleeves for the tournament, just so, in case I did get really neat stuff, and I didn't want them to get damaged. So I got Experience Share, Arbor Roach. Shrine of Memories is really good. Each player's evolved Pokemon can use an attack from its previous evolutions, so you're able to go back and forth depending on the situation, which is good. So basically, I ended up making a water fighting deck, because those were the only Pokemon that would do nice damage, and the only ones that I had really good evolved forms for. Teammates ended up being pretty useful. I mean, once my Pokemon were knocked out, I was able to search for whatever 2 cards I wanted, and there we go. It's really nice. I did decide to use Diggersby. He's really good with his Ear Dig, especially for the tournament. It was a 40-card deck tournament, and his Ear Dig, it's flip a coin until you get tails. For each heads, discard the top card of your opponent's deck. So I was hoping I'd deck him with it, but I just kept getting tails, or I'd get 1 heads and then tails. Which, by the way, I'd like to mention, a lot of these cards that are coming out for Primal Clash are a lot of like flip coins. So make sure you guys get your trick coins ready, because there are so many like mean combos and mean attacks that you could use from these Pokemon that need to flip a coin. So if you have trick coin, take advantage of it. I mean, get those, get them in the decks if you plan on using a lot of your Primal Clash cards. Hammerin was good because it was all colorless. I could have put him in whatever deck I wanted with that, but I decided to make a fighting water because of the other ones I had, and so I could also use Ear Dig, which proved handy in the tournament. So he was actually pretty good for me. Professor Birch observations, he saved me a few times when I wasn't drawing energy. Shuffle my hand into my deck, flip a coin. If heads, I draw 7 cards. If tails, I draw 4. I kept getting lucky and getting heads, so that was nice. Fresh Water Set was really good. Heal 20 damage from each of your Pokemon. So it's really good with the Pokemon that have the recovery ability, because with that, you're able to heal yourself 40 with those Pokemon, so that was good. Volbeat won me the first one just because of Pester and people. The first match I went up against, a lot of her Pokemon had like 60 HP, so do 30, next turn 30 again, they're dead. And 2 of them had a weakness to grass, so it was 1-hit KO for those, and so that was a fairly fast match. But then again, she was new, she was learning, but I helped teach her a little bit about energy placement and stuff like that, and trying to help her out. But she just wasn't drawing the right stuff. Poor thing. Wishcast. This guy was my hero. Thanks to this guy, I was able to win. Out of 5 rounds, I won 3 rounds and only lost 1. And the one I lost, I came really close still with this guy. His Amnesia does 20 damage. Choose one of your opponent's active Pokemon's attacks. That Pokemon can't use that attack during your opponent's next turn. So basically, there was a Buffalont, I think is how you pronounce his name. He has only 1 attack, but does 80 damage, and it's wiping my guys out. This was the last match I had. And he was taking all my guys out, and I luckily drew this guy just in time to use Amnesia to damage him, and he couldn't use any of his attacks because he only had one. I used Amnesia on the one, and he didn't. And even if he retreated his guy, his other bench Pokemon wouldn't have enough energy in time. So I kept using that until I could finish it off with Rising Lunge. So this guy saved me the last round and also the other matches. The one I lost to, the guy had a really great pool. He had a Trevna EX, and of course my weakness is grass. And with that wood hammer, he only got one grass energy with it, so I did 70, but to me it would do 140. So with only 100 HP it would take me out. So I used Amnesia twice on him because he used the other Dark Forest attack that did 20, but in my case it would do 40 because of my weakness. So he hit me twice with that, doing 80 damage, but I hit him twice with Amnesia, doing 40, and my last attack I was able to do Rising Lunge. So with that, I was able to survive against a Pokemon I was weak against and do massive damage to him. I did 100 damage. If I had heads with Rising Lunge, it would have been 130 damage to that guy. And he has 180 HP, so he was left with 80, and if I had heads, only 50 HP. And my follow-up guy was him, but I couldn't finish him off because I didn't have enough energy for Hammer In. So I was really disappointed about that. I could have finished him off, and I would have continued attacking with 70 damage, possibly winning that round. But I didn't have the energy, and his weakness was grass. But I did have the weakness policy on him, which saved him a turn, because the Pokemon this card attached to has no weakness. But I got it to him in time, but he was only able to survive one more turn, and I didn't draw energy that turn to be able to finish off Trevenant. So I was a little disappointed in that luck, but I mean, who knows? He could have pulled another trick up his sleeve and got me, but that was my only hope was to winning was these two, but I just didn't get enough energy with this one. So that was bad luck for my case, but this Wishcast was my hero throughout the whole tournament. It was thanks to him I was able to win so much, and I only have 2 of these Barboaches and 1 of him. And I kept getting lucky to get him, or I got him with the twins, or not the twins. What is it called, twins? Sorry, teammates. And so he's really good. One of those Pokemon that you really mess with your opponent with that Amnesia, and using it right. And again, trick coins, people. Remember trick coins, because with that you're able to flip a coin again in case you fail, and try your luck with that. And that would have done 90 instead of 60. So he is. I'd recommend him in a water deck. He is plenty good. Doublade, yes, I made a fighting water deck and had no steel energy, but I had him in here because of his false swipe. I don't need steel for this attack, and it's flip a coin, if heads, put damage counters on your opponent's active Pokemon until the remaining HP is 10. So basically, I put him out there against an EX or someone that has high HP, bring it right down to 10. And then possibly retreat him, or if I did have steel, attack with slash, and he would be done. So this guy is really good, and that's why I put him in that deck. In the hopes I get this, and I only had 1 Hone Edge, so he was just there to hopefully give me that false wipe. I had Mudkip in his evolved form. I evolved him once for back, and had him stock off for energy for backup for a good 40 plus attack. But I still didn't end up using him because of my Wish Cast just taking everyone down. This Bumblebee, I put him in here to be mean. He has Barrage ability. He's able to attack twice, and he could attack with one of these, just 1 colorless each, and it's Burrow. Discard the top card of your opponent's deck, or Rototiller, I believe that's how it's pronounced. Shuffle a card from discard pile into your deck. So basically, in a 440 deck tournament, this was... I didn't get a chance to draw this guy, but he would have been so mean. Yes, he has 60 HP, but say he's not getting the energy he needs and he can't attack this guy for a while. I just burrow into his deck, take his deck, as many of his cards as I can out, and because of Barrage, I'm able to do it twice. I could either discard 2 of his cards, or recover 2 of mine, or discard 1 of his cards and recover 1 of mine. So it was a really good combination with that one. But I never drew him, never got to use him, sadly. For whatever reason, I just wasn't getting that luck. But he could have been really good in a 40 deck tournament. I'm not so sure how well he'll do in a 60 deck, unless you're close to decking your opponent. But I mean, if all else fails, evolve him for this guy, and you could continue it with Ear Dig and Trick Coin to use that Ear Dig to get rid of more of that your opponent's deck. I just had these other fillers, Corefish. Oh, there's my Evolve for Mudkip, Marstomp, and just some other filler stuff. And yeah, this is what I was talking about with Groudon EX, Maxie's Hidden Ball Trick. I can only play this card when it's the last card in my hand, but I put a fighting Pokemon from my discard pile onto my bench, then draw 5 cards. So that would have been handy with some of my other fighting Pokemon. That's why I decided to put it in case I have this guy in my discard and I don't even have to evolve him. He could just come straight to my bench and he's back in action. So yeah, those are the cards I had in my deck for the tournament. If you saw some other cards that I showed that I didn't put in my deck and you think I should have put those in instead, go ahead and leave a comment to see what you think, what you would have done in my position as far as making this deck, or any comments of what I would probably like to do with these cards in the future, etc. All that good stuff. Alright, and that's all I got for you guys today on this video. So I hope you guys enjoyed and get you guys more pumped and excited for the Primal Clash release for all you Pokemon card lovers out there. And it's going to be fun. I'm really excited for them, but like I mentioned in the earlier clips, trick coin cards. That's what you need for this next set. If I've learned anything, it's that. And still, even if you're just in it for the collecting and stuff, just go for it, because a lot of them have now the Primals out and some more Mega Evolutions, so it's plenty fun. What's also exciting about it is that not only the EXs are coming out full art, but so are the Mega Evolved forms and the Primals are in full art. So if you're in it for collecting for those awesome ones, go for it. They are beautiful. They are awesome. I'm really excited for this next set. I'm really thankful for the people that put together a tournament for me to experience it early and be able to have so much fun. It was such a great atmosphere, all those other people playing the game, and it was really exciting, and I'm really glad I was able to make it and be able to put the time to be able to share my experience from there onto this channel for everyone to see. So if you like what you saw on this and you want to see some more of whether it be Pokemon or even some other stuff from animes, video games, I go all over the place. I love Naruto, Kingdom Hearts, so many, even like some of the not well-known animes like Golden Time and a whole bunch of just fun stuff like that. I love doing this kind of stuff. It inspires me when I look up YouTube channels and I find a whole bunch of people that get excited about this kind of stuff and be able to share and get me excited and pumped and ready for whatever is coming my way. So thank you guys for watching. I really hope you guys enjoyed, and again, if you have any questions or would like to see more stuff and would like to even get a little bit involved, go ahead and put into the comments below and let me know. And please like and subscribe if you enjoy this kind of stuff, and I'm going to keep doing my best to keep bringing you guys even more. So thank you all, and have an awesome day.